Overview of the Pandemic Safety Certification. Palau has had border closures since April 2020, resulting in a collapse of its tourism industry. In order to prepare our tourism industry for a safe and responsible reopening of our borders, the Bureau of Tourism, the Palau Visitors Authority, the Palau Chamber of Commerce, along with the Ministry of Health and the Palau Red Cross Society, and their partners, teamed up to develop the Pandemic Safety Certification Program, known as Safe for You, under its Pandemic Safety Regulation, to mitigate health risks for visitors and residents, in line with Palau's reputation as a safe and responsible tourism destination. Businesses that have attended a training workshop, appointed a safety officer, trained their staff, purchased required PPE and hygiene supplies, developed a cleaning process and contingency plan for their own business will get certified and receive the Safe for You seal to display to their visitors, showing that they have been certified in international best practices for safety and sanitation. COVID-19 preventative measures and the new normal for customer service. As we all know, the current pandemic we are in is COVID-19. COVID-19 is a highly infectious disease that is spread through droplets in the air and on surfaces. The preventative measures include hand washing, respiratory etiquettes, spitting etiquettes, and physical distancing. To demonstrate proper hand washing looks like this. You can use regular soap and wash your hands for 40 to 60 seconds. Right palm over left dorsum with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Backs of fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotational rubbing backwards and forwards with clasped fingers of right hand and left palm and vice versa. Rotational rubbing of left thumb clasped in right palm and vice versa. Rinse hands with water. Dry hands thoroughly with a single-use towel. Use towel to turn off faucet. Your hands are now safe. Or you can use alcohol-based hand rub and wash your hands for 20 to 30 seconds. Rub hands palm to palm. Right palm over left dorsum with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Backs of fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotational rubbing of left thumb clasped in right palm and vice versa. Rotational rubbing backwards and forwards with clasped fingers of right hand and left palm and vice versa. Once dry, your hands are safe. Proper respiratory etiquette looks like this. Use tissue and dispose of it properly. Cough or sneeze into the elbows of your shirt. Wear fabric masks if needed. And proper spitting etiquette looks like this. Spit bottles and containers should not be shared and should be disposed of properly. Physical distancing means maintaining a distance of at least 3 feet with 2 people totaling a distance of 6 feet. The required personal protective equipment. The required personal protective equipment, or PPE, for your relevant staff that are in regular contact with guests include masks, whether washable fabric masks or surgical masks, and disposable gloves. The required hygiene supplies include soap, alcohol-based hand rub with at least 70% alcohol, no-touch trash cans. In addition to the PPE and hygiene supplies, your business should invest in at least 1 thermometer to have on hand, such as the handheld infrared thermometer, to conduct the health check for visitors entering your premises in the event there is a suspected or active case in the community. For your staff that are interacting with customers on a regular basis, we recommend they wear a fabric mask and disposable gloves. Here is how you should put on your mask and gloves when preparing to interact with customers or when cleaning. Step 1. Wash your hands or sanitize. Step 2. Put on fabric mask. Step 3. Wash your hands or sanitize. Step 4. Put on surgical gloves. When you are ready to change your gloves, Step 5. Remove surgical gloves and dispose them in the designated trash bin. Step 6. Wash your hands or sanitize. Step 7. Remove your fabric mask. Step 8. Place your fabric mask in a Ziploc bag, or if you are wearing a medical mask, throw it in the designated trash bin. Step 9. Wash your hands or sanitize. Remember to change your mask if it is damp, dirty, or wet. We recommend your relevant staff having at least 2 fabric masks per shift. Cleaning and sanitation process for each sector. Now that your staff and business establishment is prepared to welcome visitors, here are best practices for cleaning and sanitation after each guest stay or visit. Sanitation after cleaning of touched surfaces is required after each guest visit. Sanitation with an alcohol-based solution is preferred, although a bleach solution is acceptable as well. In order to properly clean and sanitize spaces, it is important to create a cleaning checklist and process that your staff can follow. For all common areas in your business, clean and sanitize at least once a day and based on the frequency of use throughout the day. Focus your attention on high-touch surfaces like tables, counters, check-in counters, and seats. Make sure you have an alcohol-based hand rub available in common areas like your entrance areas and counters. For all restrooms in your business, make sure that soap and alcohol-based hand rub is available. Provide signage about hand washing etiquettes as provided by the Red Cross and the Ministry of Health. For guest rooms, after a guest departure, enter the room with a mask and gloves. Ventilate the room for at least 20 minutes before and during cleaning. Start by taking out the trash, then collect dirty laundry and wash any dishes. Linens should be washed at the highest heat possible and thoroughly dry. Clean all hard surfaces with soap and water. Sweep and mop all floors. Then clean all soft surfaces if necessary. After cleaning, and sanitize surfaces by spraying them down with a disinfectant. After sanitizing, wash or spray your hands, change your gloves, and restock supplies, towels, and used linens. After restocking is complete, leave the room and do not re-enter. For restaurants, every food service establishment should be thoroughly detail cleaned and sanitized before it opens for business each day. Focus on high contact areas that will be touched by both employees and guests. Do not overlook seldom touched surfaces. When using disinfectants on food contact surfaces, you must rinse the surfaces with potable water afterwards and allow adequate time for the surface to drain or dry before preparing food on it again. See list of eco-friendly and effective cleaners in Appendix A. Tabletops, condiments, and menus must be cleaned and sanitized after each customer's visit. Check presenters, self-service areas, bathrooms, and other commonly touched surfaces must be cleaned and sanitized based on frequency of use. For washing dishes that have been touched by customers, follow the procedure of wash, disinfect, and rinse. Dishes should be air dried or dried using a clean dish towel. For boats and other vehicles, cleaning vehicles should be based on frequency of use and could include general washing, internal vacuuming of the vehicle, and sanitation of the entire vehicle, focusing on high-frequency touch points such as keys, steering wheel, seat belts, steering column, doors, interior and pockets, door handles, seats, compartments, center console, cup holders, mirrors, vents, gear stick, trunk release, handles. For outdoor tourist sites, clean and disinfect common areas at sites based on frequency of use. Particular attention should be given to high-touch focus surfaces such as faucets, doorknobs, and light switches. Clean and disinfect restrooms daily using EPA-registered disinfectants. For a list of eco-friendly and effective cleaners, please refer to Appendix A of this toolkit. If surfaces such as barbecue pits, picnic tables, and benches are exposed to direct sunlight for at least 1 hour, they should be cleaned. If barbecue pits, picnic tables, and benches are not exposed to sunlight for at least 1 hour, consider using dish soap, water, and a soft bristle brush to remove unwanted dirt, oils, and chemicals. Biodegradable dish soap and water is a cost-effective way to clean commonly used surfaces. Contingency planning. After training your staff on COVID-19 preventative measures, purchasing fabric masks and disposable gloves for your relevant staff, and creating a cleaning checklist and process for your business, take some time to create a pandemic contingency plan for your business. Start by appointing a safety officer. Then write down the measures you have installed during this pandemic, such as wearing masks and gloves. Then write down further measures you will implement if there is a suspected case in Palau, such as doing a temperature check when a guest walks into your establishment. Lastly, write down what you would do if there was a suspected case in your business. Remember, a suspected case would be a person who is symptomatic, but they are not an active case until they have been tested and diagnosed. In the scenario of a suspected case in your business, here is what you should do. Step 1. Have your staff or guests notify the safety officer. Step 2. The safety officer notifies the Ministry of Health by calling the CDO hotline at 775-2822. If you are an accommodation provider, isolate the guest immediately. Step 3. Communicate the situation with guests and other staff members without ensuing panic and wait for the Ministry of Health to respond. Step 4. Follow MOH instructions and provide any required information about the symptomatic guest. Step 5. After the diagnosis, communicate the result with customers and staff. If the guest is confirmed as a COVID-19 case, let the MOH hazmat team disinfect the establishment. If the suspected case is not confirmed to have COVID-19, clean and sanitize as recommended in the guidelines. Thank you for getting certified as safe for you. Your business plays a vital role in keeping our residents and visitors safe and supporting our Ministry of Health in ongoing mitigation efforts when we welcome visitors to Palau again.